Okay, there we go. Excellent. Welcome, Party B, to Wicked Ones War for the Overworld.
Hmm.
Um,
Woo.
or I guess Party One, if you guys also want to be like Party A and Party One or something. uh,
No, we're the best party.
the best
Thanks.
party. Oh, okay, excellent, excellent. uh, so a little background to start us off. You are all members of a dungeon that failed horribly. It collapsed upon
Excellent.
itself after the master was overthrown by an adventuring party. The dungeon was ransacked. All the creatures in it went feral and started destroying the dungeon and the adventurers. It was a nightmare. You never really knew each other before this point, but after having escaped each of your dungeons and wandering on your own for a little bit, you realized, uh, hey, one creature running a dungeon was doomed to fail. Uh, so you seek out other monsters that were smart enough to leave their dungeon, and powerful enough to possibly help, and you bump into each other. And you realize if we are able to establish something together, we should be able to make a more successful dungeon than what we had to escape from. Now, keep in mind, you don't know each other very well. You've only met a little bit, probably explored about a day or so together. And there will be disagreements. There's rule sets for that as well. But you realize you're a group of powerful monsters. This is something that you can utilize, even if it's for your own goals. As a group, you should be able to succeed in those. Um, you've had to stay away from civilized territories. A lot of the villagers and adventurers guild are still roaming around quite a lot because of the fact that they just destroyed a dungeon. But you're gonna have to all settle down after a while of exploring because you need a refuge. There needs to be a place that you can go to recover, store your hoard, and establish a dungeon potentially. So, as you're all sitting around a campfire, uh, let's say 4 to 5 days after your dungeon had just been eliminated, where should I start you off? I'm gonna bring you over here to the Badlands region. You have a campfire along the edge of the ruins over here. I'll bring out your tokens so we can kind of see where everyone's at. Oh yeah, your token's bigger. um, excellent.
That's fine.
So you're hiding in the ruins. Your campfire kind of covered, so people won't find you. Not a lot of people seem to come by these ruins anyway. But from here, your seer, Slissus, is that correct?
Yeah,
Slissus,
Slisses.
um, is able to use the smoke of the campfire to show you the surrounding area. So you're able to get kind of a bird's eye view of this map through the smoky haze inside of your room. Would you all like to introduce yourselves more formally around this campfire, as now has become the time to look for a dungeon and you might need more information on your group before heading out? Who would like to start?
I can start, I guess. I don't know what is expected, but I'm just like a general intro of who I am, what I look like, and what I do.
Yeah,
You're thinking?
and then any additional
All
info
right.
that you want to give, but you all are evil, so you might not want to give too much info.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, as you can all see, I am a drider. I'm very large. Um, I guess tall, not really large, kind of medium build. Um, and my whole thing is really about secrets. So I'm not going to give a ton of info here. I wasn't always a drider, but through the teachings and truth of the goddess Melanwe, I've been transformed into what I am now. And the only kind of possession that I seem to really have, other than clothes, is my book of secrets, which is very important to me. I am very religious fanatical, and obsessed with secrets, I guess. So I do want to be very heavily focused on gathering information and whatnot.
Sounds good. Also, secrets are very fun in this game, so that should be good. Excellent. Who would like to go next?
I can go next. Would I be able to get a cough drop first?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna have a sip of coffee quickly. Banjo brew. It's delicious. Yeah, it's quite handy having the whole fire setup because it is interesting because you're introduced, like, it's not like a party scenario in a lot of these starting games where it's all like, oh, we're adventuring together. No, it's you guys found each other and you realized we have to kind of work with this. So it's a very different dynamic, and I kind of like how interesting it is to be like,
all right,
yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right. I'm Tart Malady. I'm here to just have a little bit of fun, just to eat my fill. Can't really say much about me. I just love to eat those little pesky humans. But as you can see, I am a slime of the electric variety. And I just simply adore just tricking people using my cunning mind just to get around their pesky rules, blend in, so to speak.
I can picture Brielle like shifting a little bit further away after that description.
I actually quietly hissed, but the mic didn't.
Aw.
Darn.
Wow, you're hissing.
I'm very weak to electricity. So no. Electricity naughty for me.
Well, I guess I know how to push your buttons, so to speak.
All right. I will be brave and introduce myself.
You gotta be brave.
Yes. I am Brielle. Me and my Caribou troop, which she will then point to her little fish minions that look like piranhas with legs. We swarm and hunt down our prey. No, nothing can escape me, especially if it's bleeding. I can smell blood from 100 miles away. Well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you'll never know. Just be careful if you bleed around me. I sometimes can't help myself to take a nibble.
Just as long as you don't try to take a nibble of little me.
I don't think I'd like to, because I don't really enjoy being shocked. And I suppose to give a basic description of her, she is like a more sophisticated version, I suppose, of her minions, of more formed out, kind of like almost like a Murloc, but not quite so like that. Kind of a very fish looking like goblin, where she has scales coming out of, like, there's scales all over. She has fish fins. She has the little fishy thing along her spine and off her arms and legs. And she has gray fish eyes. You know, she looks very pale, probably cold-blooded, and should be in the water if she can help it. She usually will dive around water as often as she can.
Excellent. And then our last member here working on the fire.
Yes, that would be me, Slissus. I am a Slissic shaman, here to sow terror amongst the human race and, well, any other races that also happen to be nearby. I do specialize in blood readings, so perhaps we can take out that bloodlust a little bit from you.
But my bloodlust makes me a great hunter.
I'll enhance it. I'll enhance it. We can work
Ah.
together. It'll be good.
Oh, perfect. I can't wait to bite them all up.
Yes, and I do worship Vahuna, the Howler of Night, the Howler at Night. So, if I give you a little scare, don't worry about it. I'll try to direct it to our enemies as much as possible.
Excellent, excellent.
I guess to describe my character a little, just pretty basic snake-like creature, snake-like humanoid. I got my nice little cobra frills, but humanoid torso.
It's beautiful. Oh yeah, very Cobra-like. What would they be? Not fins, but like a fan almost.
Mhm.
Excellent, excellent. And as you're all hanging around the fire discussing each other and your goals, Slissus is able to finally get the smoke into more of a clear picture, and you're able to see the landscape around you. I'm going to help out a little bit here too, just in case.
I am curious. In the party overview, it just shows me.
Oh yeah, the party overview is not super effective at the moment because I have to set up a
Okay.
way so that it only shows party A or party B at a given time. So I haven't quite got
Oh,
that set up
okay.
yet.
Okay.
But looking over this land, you would notice that there is a huge amount of ruined area in the center where you guys currently are. A couple towns to the west, a large town to the east, and what appears to be a fortress to the northeast. There's a lot of room around here that seems to be empty space where you could make a decent dungeon. There's, of course, a couple like abandoned bunkers and crevices near the center of the map that could be very handy. There's also caverns down by the ocean side that seem to be a good spot that you could go to. Or even here in the ruined city is an option.
Hmm.
But
I was thinking about like the little settlement near the forest. There seems to be like some sort of like logging buildings.
there is, but keep in mind you might not want to build your dungeon right near a settlement in case they find it easily.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's not a bad idea for a raiding target.
My personal vote is I see right here this bridge. It looks like we could probably set up something underneath it. Or probably a cavern by this, or I don't know if this is a desolated town here or if it's just an abandoned place, because that also could be very nice. Us having good access to water would at least be helpful for what I am good at.
Would you like to be further up the stream?
I don't have any complaints where we're at as long as we have good tasty morsels nearby.
It doesn't have to be one of the places I suggested either. Like, you guys could go in a forest, or you could go on the
Yeah.
mountains. They're all options.
I was firstly thinking of the forest since it's hidden.
Yes, it does look like there's a small little lake or pond over to the west there.
Yeah, we could settle on the east side of the waterfall.
Yeah, like somewhere over here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Close to the farming or the forestry village.
Yeah.
Everybody needs lumber. That would be a good inn to a lot of larger settlements.
Yeah, if we like settle on the east side, we can go around the backside and take the logging settlement.
And controlling the source of the water for the towns down below is very tempting.
Ooh. Excellent. Well, I'll place that there just for now, so we have like a rough token. Does this look like a good spot for everybody?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okie dokie.
It'll do.
Well,
Mhm.
while you're discussing, we're going to have our first check. I'm going to need everyone to make a scan, please.
A scan.
Yes, so if you go into your character sheet, you should be able to click on the word scan, and it'll
Mhm.
bring up a roller for you. There's no modifiers here, it's just going to be a plain scan roll.
Scan.
It's not me surveying an area.
Oh, wait, you're undead. No, you have scan as well. It's under your brains.
I see defense, stress, darkened pulses, gear supply.
All right, do I have to
I don't
change any of
see
these drop
any.
downs?
Oh, sorry, it's on the right side of your sheet.
Tweak, are we surveying an area? Because I do have feral sense. I just want to make sure if we're just specifically checking something. If not, I just want to make sure.
You said it's on the right side of my sheet?
You can have 1D for your thing. Yeah, it should be on the right. Feel free to share your
Okay.
screen if you need to, and I can help you find it.
Okay. Yeah, let me do that.
I got a 6. Cool.
I am confused.
Yes, both successes. Haha, we have very perceptive.
Yeah, so if you look where your picture
Equal
is, and then go straight down from there, you'll hit brains, and then under brains is the word scan.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Then I do like action.
Yeah, so you can leave all that default because we don't have any
Okay.
modifiers, and you'll be able to mix. Okay, a lot of 2 successes though. That's a good. Wait a second. Do you have no scan?
I have 2 in
Oh,
scan.
Stitches has 1 scan. Okay. Sorry, I was just surprised you got a success with a single dice.
Me too.
Yeah, okay, everyone's got some scan. That's actually good. Okay. So success. So
I
no
figured having some
criticals.
scan would be great to have if I'm trying to go for like a sly trickery sort of thing.
So Brielle normally probably would have caught on to something like this, but unfortunately, all the smoke in the room and the distraction of now knowing there's an electric slime sitting beside them was a little bit a little bit too much of a distraction. But
Just with my eyes.
yeah. But Alexander and Slissus, you would notice that actually I should update your token because I don't think it has the right name on the token. No, it does not. There we go. Boop. You would both notice that there seems to be shuffling outside. You could hear the clanking of armor heading your way.
Oh my god, everybody hide. There's something coming. Hide in the smoke.
It's true, there is a lot of smoke in here now.
Probably what drew them in the first place.
Yeah.
This one's Slissus.
I'm sure it's fine.
Do here. Hmm.
Excellent. So, as you guys all decide to take cover, feel free to do a skulk if you want to try and hide in the area.
A skull.
Ooh.
Gonna
Sure.
try our best.
I mean, that's fair. Oh, wow, okay. Brielle just vanishes into the smoke. No one knows where they went.
Alright.
Slissus is able to find an area that's much more hidden. Well, unfortunately, Tart Milady, while out of view, is not not well hidden if they do get spotted.
Aw.
But it doesn't matter too much because Alexander isn't able to really hide in this part of the ruins with their larger body, and
Just
they
hiding behind a tree branch.
they hear someone yell in their direction. You. Most of what they say is slightly foreign to you, but you can understand the words monster and slay.
Oh my god, slay.
um, Seeing the direction of the voice, you can see what appears to be a Templar in plate mail armor with a. You can tell they're holy symbols on it. You aren't sure who they're to. And there seems to be a scribe and a pack mule with them.
It's just the two of them in a pack mule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do I speak the same language as these people?
So
Can I communicate?
monsters, and dark beings speak the dark tongue, while humans and good beings speak the light tongue. You can like understand some words, so like as long as it's very basic, like how he was saying monster, slay, like that kind of stuff. Like you know those words, you know gold, you know like if basically if you can say it very simply, then they should be able to understand what you're saying.
Okay. Can I do any kind of check to see what this symbol is? What god he represents?
Yeah, for sure. This would
that work?
be boop-a-doop-doo. I guess in your case it would probably be invoke because your invoke is your both your magic and your faith. So um
Can I do one of those then?
yes.
Okay.
Ooh, a good invoke. Okay, let me grab the info for you. Boop-a-doop-a-doo.
Is it clear that I'm the only one that's been spotted?
They seem to all be looking at you. So that's
That makes sense. I'm very handsome.
this seems to be the symbol for Kira, the god of all that is good. Provider of light, protection, and healing.
Well, darn.
And he already seen me already, right?
He's only seems to have seen Alexander so far.
Okay.
Yes, you're hidden, just not very well. So
Yeah.
if they looked in your direction, they'd see you.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can like distract them to make sure everybody else is hidden, and then maybe that will give us an opportunity to do something?
For sure. So this is just rough relationally because I didn't know where our first combat would happen. But this is a large, like ruined city street here, so you should be able to maneuver around pretty easily. You could always like however you want to handle it, but as long as you can keep their attention, you could probably distract them.
I have 3 out of 3 of trick. I could try to go around them.
I could also try to sneakily cast a spell if need be.
That's true.
Can I maybe call
I have
upon my god
stuff
to
I'm
learn
thinking of. I
something
just don't
about
think
this
it's my turn
person?
yet. So there's no
Is
specific
there
turn order in
info?
here.
Oh, alright.
Because we're in the prologue. So if you guys want to do something, just let me know what order you want to do it in. But I can turn on the encounter tracker if you guys want a more specific turn order. Yes.
Would I be able to roll my trick to get behind him?
Sure, but do you guys want Alexander to try to distract them first?
Sure.
Just to
Yeah,
give you
I'll
guys
do
a better
that.
chance, yeah. But yes,
Do I
you
do something for that, or just I say that I try to distract them?
it would. Well, we could do a trick, but since they've only seen you, we can give you a bonus on it as well because they have no idea that anyone else is there. So even a plus 2d for your bonus.
You want me to roll trick then? To
Yeah.
distract him?
And then you can add plus 2 to the dice.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Ooh.
Hey, that worked.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So kind of like I step out and I start talking to them. I know they can't really understand, but I'm moving to the side away from the trees where everybody else is hidden. to try and keep their attention on me.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Excellent. You kind of walk around them a little bit while you're trying to talk to them. You notice the scribe beside them is scribbling in their book. Like as you're speaking, and they seem to be speaking a little bit in dark tongue, but very poorly, and light tongue to the paladin.
Ah, yes, the good old translator.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'll just keep doing that while maybe the rest of the group does some stuff here. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm going to do boop. There we go.
If nothing happens, my plan is just to book it along the river.
I mean, that's fair. And then Tart, you wanted to try and get behind them, right? With your or sneak up on them. Yeah.
It'll be under trick, right?
Yeah.
Alright. And do I get any modifiers?
Yes. Now that they're distracted, you can also get a +2 to sneak up on them.
Alright. Just trying to sneak up like right behind them.
Excellent, excellent.
Ooh. Beautiful.
Excellent. I'm just gonna put that on there so you'll have a little bit of a turn order thing.
Okay.
Makes it a little easier. Oh, a critical. Okay, yeah, no, you are like right up behind. The scribe is standing slightly behind the Templar, and you're right behind the scribe.
I'm a little hungry.
And I guess we should let everyone get in position. Brielle, what would you like to do, seeing this unfolding?
Yes, so I was wondering if I can use my ability of Thrill of the Hunt, which basically is I can spend a stress to establish a small momentary weakness in my prey, so then I gain plus effect when I exploit this on my next roll to stalk, catch, or bring them down.
Yes. So you would take 2 stress points, but you would get +2 to your dice roll to one of your next rolls against them. They have no idea where you are at the moment. Actually, your teammates don't know where you are at the moment. So.
Yeah, they don't need to know where I am. We're hunting.
Oh, I just noticed that under notes I could see like what words I know under the light tongue.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, can I only do an ability, or can I now also do a roll?
Oh yeah, that was just triggering your ability. Yeah. So if you want to do a roll, what would you like to try and?
Because what I want to do is basically catch the paladin off guard and be able to send me and my little minions to go tackle him head down, so then we can hopefully like maybe knock him prone or something. So it's easier to attack if, because no one knows where I am. So,
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Sounds good to me.
what kind of roll would that be?
The roll to take over the world. No, hold on a second. That's later.
That's what?
That's later. Taking over the world.
Oh,
Um,
I thought you said the roll was litter, and I'm like, what do you mean? I don't see
no.
litter.
yeah, it's the litter roll. So normally with combat, it's a little based on how you want to describe it. So in this case, you'd probably be using finesse, would be my guess.
Oh, I would love that much more. Yes.
Because finesse and smash are very interchangeable for most combat encounters. It's more so when you're doing unique skills that require finesse or smash that we have to dig into it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in this case, if you want to use finesse.
Okay. And then since I get plus effect, do I bump my effect to strong?
Yes, your effect would now be strong.
Okay.
It should give you like an extra dice or two, which will be good.
Okay. I did want to, well, does it? Because it doesn't immediately say.
Yeah, but they won't. The developer didn't put all the little details in, but.
Okay.
It should make it
And
better.
okay. Do I get any modifiers just because I'm basically like sneak attacking them suddenly, like catching them off guard?
Yeah, you would have a +2 as well, but it is going to break your stealth if you attack them.
That's fine. Besides, it's only 2 people in a horse.
Yeah.
I think we can take them. All right.
Sounds good. Oh wow, okay.
Okay. Wow, that's a little
You,
rude.
you get the results you want, but there's a consequence. Okay. So you get onto the back of this Templar. And you're able to get a good bite into their shoulder, but unfortunately, other than ripping off the shoulder pad, you don't get purchase in their skin. So you've removed a piece of this Templar's armor, but he's able to throw you off. You hear him yelling in in the light tongue. Just you can assume profane swear.
Do we know those words?
I don't know. It would I guess swears could be universal. Who knows? I'm not sure how that would work.
Do I also have to roll for my chompers?
Your chompies.
Yes, because you want them to dive in with you, right?
Yes.
So if you click on your
Do they have to
chomper,
be finesse or could they be smash?
they would be smash.
Yeah.
They are not good at being finesse. You
Okay.
could roll finesse for them if you want.
No. Would their effect also get bumped up or no?
No. Minions generally have a hard time keeping up with how good you guys are. So.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna try and hope for my chompies were successful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The chompies get into the broken parts of the armor and get purchase in the now missing arm plate, just ravaging it. The Templar is now bleeding from that arm.
Yeah. Dark heart, but I
wow.
got him to bleed.
Yeah. Wow, okay. This is going more one way than I anticipated, but Celissa, what would you like to do?
I think the paladin there is still the highest threat. So I think I want to use my Tears of Blood spell. Try and get rid of the vision a little bit, freak him out.
Oh heck, okay, sounds good.
Blind him. We'll blind him and bleed him.
Okay. So I only have to spend stress on tier 2 and 3, right? Do I have to do that for tier 1 spells?
No. Tier 1 spells will not cost any stress.
Perfect. All right. Let me invoke this Tears of Blood on the paladin then. Mixed.
Oh. Interesting. So, you have your spell go through. You know it worked, but the paladin doesn't seem shaken. So it's hard to tell under the helmet what's actually going on. You hear him yell a bunch of things, followed by Justice and Kira, and you're a little worried that things might not have gone as planned.
Oh, shoot.
Excellent. Let me bring out my turn now. I gotta pull out all the crazy moves.
Me still
There we go.
hiding behind him.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be the second wave of sneak attack, duh.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
the first wave, you're the second.
Like, they still don't know you're there, which is gonna be a huge thing. Okay, so the scribe pulls a page out of their book and throws it in the air in front of them. It ignites in the air right where your chompers are standing.
Not my babies.
Let's see.
Not the little chompies.
I mean, they are expendable. I'll get more, but not my baby.
I want to see the whole thing. Why did Brielle roll it? That's not right.
I didn't roll shit.
Yeah, I don't. You didn't roll that. Hold on a second. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Creature roll. There we go. mixed. Okay. So the scribe throws it in the air. It lights on fire. It scares your chompers off of the Templar, but it doesn't actually do any damage.
Oh, good. poor babies.
Excellent. The pack mule that people weren't really paying attention to turns around and tries to kick Brielle.
No.
I'm gonna get hit by a horse? Well, I guess a mule.
Okay, it does kick you backwards into the water behind you, which isn't really a detriment for you in this case, but
It kicked me, it just didn't hurt.
yeah.
It would be very sad if your first encounter was death by mule.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The Templar, raising their sword, calls out to Kira to protect them. Excellent. You see their wounds start closing up on their arm. They then, because adventurers get more than one move in a turn, turn to swing their sword against the chompers as they draw the great sword as their first action, and then
Not the baby.
they swing it as their second action. Oof. They definitely get hit. The sword cleaves through some of them.
Aww.
They are now bloodied.
Aww. Not the babies.
That's the end of its the knight's turn. And we're back to Alexander.
Okay, well, since kind of the jig is up here, I gotta do something.
I think the scribe is boned as soon as it gets to Tartsters. But
That scribe looking mighty tasty.
Yeah, I don't know what I can do. Can I just rush in there? I don't think that's a good idea, but I don't know what else I can do here.
It's a good question.
Is there any way I can
As a spider, do you
turn
have
them
ranged
against each
attacks or
other?
anything?
Boop-a-doo-doo.
No. I shoot some web at him. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
could maybe
interesting?
shoot web at him, and that would make him where he can't make as easy of movements. That maybe could be something.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It would be more of a finesse thing, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm sure you're trying to
Let's
think of an
do that.
invoke, but that sounds like a good one.
Yeah. I don't really know how invoke works, but finesse it is. I'm gonna web him. Here we go.
Yeah. So,
Boom.
excellent.
Get webbed.
Okay, dope. So you do web him. His legs are stuck to the ground now. His arm is still free to swing around, but he's not able to move from his spot.
Okay. And can I just kind of back up and make sure there's plenty of room so I'm kind of out of the thick of things then?
Yeah, that sounds like a smart move.
Okay. Cool.
Excellent. I should have some music going too. Hold on a second.
It's okay.
This is
Music.
not crazy enough. How about In the Ruins? That sounds like a good one. Oh wait, we're in battle. We need battle music.
Yeah.
How about Air and Water? There we go. That's more. or is it still a little too loud? Let me turn it down a little more. There we go. Okay. So you are able to take a step back. And we go on to Tart's turn. No one's noticed you yet, sitting back here.
That poor scribe's about to get eaten.
they might.
Useful for us.
Yeah.
Right, so if I want to try to consume the scribe, would that still be under trick since they haven't noticed me? And under brain?
So you actually have a trick would normally be for like messing with them, like how you snuck behind them. In this case, though, as an undead, you can use your horrify because it's against a human.
Oh,
So,
okay.
If you want to do that,
Would I do a plus D2 as well? Since
Oh
I'm
yeah, because
still not noticed.
yeah, no, they haven't noticed you yet. Yep, that sounds good.
Alright, action, default, +2. Okay, rolling. See if I can eat the scribe.
Yay!
Uh-oh.
Goodbye, scribe.
Yeah, so, the scribe gets, devoured by you. They're still alive at the moment, which is even more horrific, but,
Oh, like they're inside of the goo and
Yeah.
they're just like alive and wiggling around like ah.
But all intents
yeah,
and purposes, they are dying rather fast.
yeah. I don't think there's
Getting shocked by electricity.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that they could do at this point, but they are still alive for all intents and purposes. I'm just setting up vile trophies because I know that's something you collect as well. So
Nice.
excellent. Okay. Cool. So you've got them trapped. Would you like to move at all now that you have them?
Yes, I will. I might just go back over here. I know movement's a bit different from Pathfinder, so do I move like here? And that would be fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
We're doing theater of mind, so we can assume you've moved down the street in this case.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent. Brielle probably a little jealous that they weren't the first one to get a meal.
Well, I've already smelled the blood of that one, so I'm gonna tear it up. I don't care how long it takes.
Sounds good. Excellent.
Okay. So oh, it's my turn again, but I'm in the water, so I have to get out. Why do I have a bloodied heart all of a sudden filled? I don't remember clicking that.
I turned it on because you're only supposed to. It was only you gain a heart if you succeeded on the other one. You already took stress, so you didn't need to lose a heart. Or did you use it on the? Because it gives you an extra dice roll if you want to use it, but I didn't think you used it.
I haven't used a bloodied heart, no.
Okay, so yeah, you should have one then.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it gives me a +D on a roll.
Yeah, you basically get a free... actually, yeah, everyone should have one. Let me make sure. Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot. So for Tart, it's called Essence instead of Bloodied Heart, because they don't have a living heart anymore. Or a dark heart.
Yeah.
Well, this paladin would probably be less of a problem if I could get rid of his sword. So, could I potentially try to tackle down his arm with the assistance of my little chompers to try to rip his sword out of him, like off of him?
Yeah, you could try it. Adventurers do get a defensive action if they are if you're trying a disarm or a maneuver.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'd like to at least try, because if we can disarm him, then he's a lot less of a problem, much easier to kill.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let me know how you're gonna disarm him. Finesse or smash? Or trick, I guess, could even work in this case.
Well, I definitely can't trick, so no.
It's not a trick. I'm taking your sword.
I'm trying to think how I could finesse. Let's see. I precisely take a maneuver or do tools. So I potentially could help, help hold his arm, hold it by the joint or something. So then my chompers could actually be the ones to rip it.
Okay, sounds good. So roll your finesse.
Okay. And
he is yeah, I was gonna say he is tangled, so give yourself a +1. Because the webbing's holding him.
Okay. And I really want this to succeed, so can I also use one of my hearts?
Yes. You use your dark heart, that's another +1.
Perfect. I don't know how to unclick that heart, but I'll do it later.
Excellent.
Okay.
You did it.
I'm successful. Do I have to roll for my chompers now to actually rip out the sword, or?
No. That the success will have it in your favor. So you are able to armbar him, and the way you pull his arm back, you actually hear a pop as he drops the sword. Excellent. Wow, this Templar's just webbed and disarmed at the moment. Your chompers actually get a turn still. So
He's also been de-hand.
yeah.
Well, the chompers are going to do what they do best. Chomp.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay. They're mixed chompies, I guess.
Yeah, they're able to do some damage biting up the arm. Unfortunately, they chose the same target that you already damaged, so there's no additional damage done, but he does take a little bit of like bleeding from it.
Blood.
Excellent.
Okay. Yay.
They aren't the smartest.
They're doing their best.
Yeah.
They're just babies.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. And then it's Sliss's turn.
What is the horse doing right now? Are they still hanging around?
What the horse doing?
Oh yeah, they are
Probably gonna try kicking me again if we don't do something to it.
they probably they look pretty terrified at the moment, to be fair. You'd probably be able to scare it away if you wanted to.
Okay.
Or if we kill it, we can take everything inside of the
Also true.
cart.
It does seem to have stuff on its back.
Options.
Gurulina, your reactive randomly changed, by the way.
Wait, what?
It's like
Huh?
the little now, let me see if I just need to refresh on my end. It's your emote with the glow sticks at the moment.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, okay.
looking at Discord React, and I think
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
let me fix that.
But sorry, go ahead with your idea.
Oh, yeah, no worries. And the scribe, they're still alive, aren't they, after being partially devoured?
Oh no, well, they're alive, but they're completely devoured.
Oh, okay.
Is that better?
Yeah. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, what should I... You know what? Paladin's in a tough position. Let's add to that a little bit. I think I want to use my terror ability from my god's worship to, just give the paladin a little extra awfulness in this horrible situation they're in.
Excellent. So
A little extra.
You take 2 stress. You know that this yeah, your whole stress wheel. No, you know that this paladin is absolutely horrified of the boogeyman in the dark. It's part of the reason he's worshiping light so fervently. So you can, if you act on this with an invoke or another ability, you'll get a +1d.
Ooh. So do I have to wait for next turn to act on that then?
No, because you spent a stress ability, so you can still make an action. As long as you haven't rolled, you're good.
No, I have not. Okay. All right, so I've figured out what their fear is, and now I'm going to use my tier 1 ability here to actually invoke a terrifying illusion. They're just surrounded in darkness. They can hear noises, and they just know that something is coming for them.
Excellent.
the end is near.
Okay, so I'll add that +1 modifier on there for my info.
I feel so bad for this adventure. Just looking at his sheet, because this is a first encounter, so yeah, he was not prepared for this.
You're just so done right now.
Yeah. Mixed result. That's fair. I still got to roll to see. Okay. So he has an interesting passive where he's not allowed to run away, no matter what.
Oh.
However, He is stunned by this scene around him. You can see him looking around. He's not paying attention to any of your party members anymore. Just trying to figure out what's going on.
Perfect. My god will be pleased.
Oh, excellent. He's panicking, so he can't make his move right now. The scribe takes a damage from being devoured. So the scribe is now dead. Let me get you your vile trophy from that. Because you get to use vile trophies for stuff, so... There you go. So whatever part of the scribe you kept as a vile trophy, that's up to you. The pack mule's gonna actually start running away. They aren't too far yet, but that's what they're gonna do on their turn. Okay. Alexandra, what would you like to do?
So I guess, like, question here.
Yes.
Tier 1 ability for my god. Minor secret. Like, that would maybe tell me something about these people. But is there any way I would be able to communicate with somebody who isn't an evil creature? Is that just not a thing that can happen?
You either have to take time to learn more light speak, you have to have a trait that gives you light speak, or a translator. Because there are a lot of factions that are gray factions that speak both languages fluently, so that's something you can actually hire or earn later on too.
Okay, fair enough. Is learning the language something I can do during downtime or something, just on my own, or do I need to find a translator?
Yeah, no, you'd be able to learn it on your downtime as well.
Okay, so I won't worry about that for now then. But this horse is getting away. I'm 100% gonna web him as well.
Excellent. Yep, no, that's fair.
Move closer, I guess, if I need to chase him down. I have twice as many legs, so I should be just as fast, I think.
Actually, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. As a bigger creature, too. Cover more ground.
So yeah, do whatever I can just to web him to stop that thing from getting away.
Excellent. Let's get a finesse, yeah.
Oh, darn.
Oof. You're keeping up with it, but you aren't able to web it. You shoot a couple the buildings around it with your web instead.
It's too fast.
I forgot him. Got those buildings.
Yeah. That's alright though. At least you're on it. So.
Yeah. Bring back some horse for
My
us.
turn.
Tart Milady. Oh, also by the way, if you want to do your invoking, tier 1 doesn't have any negatives. Tier 2 is a little stress with a -1 to your roll, and then tier 3 is more stress with a -2 to your roll. So.
Okay. I guess one other quick question. The tier 1 stuff that has listed there beside the little arrows, those are the things that I can do, or are those examples of the things that I can do?
Those are examples of like the quality of the tier 1 spell.
Okay.
So if you come up with something that's similar to those, but does something different, like that's totally fair too.
Okay, thanks.
That goes for you with Slissus and their worshipping. Like it's the same kind of thing. So all the tier 1s are just like examples. So if you can come up with something else that's kind of like those tier 1 abilities, you'd be able to do that as well.
Ooh, okay.
Kind of like that we have two very different kinds of invokers here, even though they're both like, yeah. But anyway, sorry. Your food got devoured.
Yeah. Awesome. But Paladin is still covered in web, experiencing night terrors, and has a broken hand.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Good, because I want to eat them.
Now, this is actually interesting.
Kill.
Yeah, so this is something that can happen. So this is a power struggle. What happens here when two characters want to do the same thing? We get to roll against each other to see who wins the power struggle, and then we get to RP it out. So
Well, what would we roll?
So it would be based on your argument. So usually this is more of a banter, a trick, or a finesse.
Trick, you say?
In your case, you can also use command because it's not undead, but in that case it means monster as well. So
I just have to roll my trick.
yeah. So you can do trick, and then I would think Brielle's best would be finesse, probably, to try and finesse her way around the
'cause I was
situation.
gonna say, like,
Well, it
okay,
doesn't
can
matter
I?
because
Oh,
No,
a crit!
it could matter.
Yeah,
It could,
it could. It's just
because I currently have my hands on him. Would I get any extra dice because I have my hands on him?
Just to make it even, I'll give you a +1, so it's a 3v3. It seems like a fair. Oh, unfortunately.
Oh,
As you're biting into him, you feel the arm pop off in your mouth as the rest of him is devoured by the slime. So you're sitting there with just an arm as the rest of him goes into tart, milady.
that was delicious. A scribe and a paladin. Such spice.
You electric hog! This was my kill!
Well, looks like your kill is now in my stomach. Well, I'm sure not too far away there's still that mule.
Oof. Oh.
Oh, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, then it's your turn, so.
Brielle angrily just chuck the arm to her choppers to let them have it as a treat instead. And I would like to spend some more stress for Thrill the Hunt to go hunt down the mule.
Okie doke. Sounds good. So, we're only gonna do one stress this time because you're already hunting this group, so.
Okay. Oh no, not that many! There we go.
And you've gone feral. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. But we're gonna go hunt it down. Is it so far I can't see it, or is it I can still see it within?
Luckily for you, it's running along the riverside, so.
Okay. So I could probably, I might not be able to run as fast, but I could probably swim as fast.
Yeah, you might be able to catch up that way.
Yeah, so she'll jump into the water to swim up and catch up with the horse so she can basically jump out and then land right on it.
Okay, so you could do a skulk for this, because you're gonna kind of jump out of the water, as opposed to... so it's up to you if you want to skulk or finesse.
They're the same rolls,
Yeah.
but I get to bump the effect up because I've spent stress. And, well, it's already scared, so I don't think I would get a bonus, though.
Oh yeah, no one's injured yet either. I was gonna say if it was injured, you could use your blood from the water, but it's not injured yet, so... Oh, hey, Lucy.
Yep, so...
The only thing that got injured was the little chompies.
Yeah.
Kirby's instincts.
I'm
I get a
assuming...
D1 when tracking targets.
I'm assuming the smell of your own species' blood probably isn't as attractive, just naturally. Because otherwise your chompers would smell pretty appetizing right now.
Oh no, she sometimes will eat them, so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they do smell appetizing.
Oh, okay.
That's why they're expendable. They just
Oh,
of them always pop up.
Yep.
So, they do smell good to me. But could I argue? I guess I'm not tracking it. Never mind. I was gonna be like, could I argue because of my Caribe's instinct of getting a D1 because I'm tracking down the target? But I guess I'm not tracking. I'm just chasing it down.
It did leave the combat zone. You know what? I'll let you do tracking because you're that's basically what you're doing under the wall. Yeah, that's basically what you're.
All right, radical. Gives me an extra die. All right. Do not fail, or I'll be sad. Son of a bitch!
Oh, no.
Wait, your
no.
skulk is 2 though. Shouldn't you have had 2 extra dice from your
Oh,
thrill of the hunt and your?
You're right. I
Yeah.
did it wrong.
Yeah, you should be rolling 4.
You are so right. Let me fix that.
Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
That's right. It didn't happen. Didn't happen.
I'm going to scream at fails again.
Hey, a mix. Okay, excellent. You
Mix. I at least landed on it this time. Just maybe didn't also kill it in the same jump.
Yeah, you dive out of the water and are able to chomp onto the back leg of this mule, bringing it to the ground. It's not enough to kill it or anything, but it has been stopped in its tracks.
Okay, well, at this point, it's defenseless.
Yeah.
This is mine!
So we can end the combat there as Alexander catches up to you and the mule. Because the mule's not a threat right now, so you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
But excellent.
My treat.
Let me switch the music over to something more ambience then. The Ruins seems very relevant. But excellent. So you guys have finished your first encounter. You got 2 vile trophies from eating those 2 people.
Yeah, a vile trophy for the scribe and one for the paladin.
It's good stuff. Now you know that there was still some groups hunting you guys as well after your dungeons had collapsed. Otherwise, there wouldn't be much of a reason for a Templar to be out here in the middle of the ruins. But this was a good indicator of how dangerous it is out here, and that a dungeon's definitely useful to have if this was just a single adventurer.
Yeah.
It went fine.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Do it again. But excellent. As you head over to, you want to loot this thing first. Let's loot this thing.
Yeah. I get first picks because I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what? That seems fair. Let me pull up the loot table. Boop-a-doop. Loot roll.
Loot roll. The roll of the loot.
Excellent. Boop. Loot roll. Success. Excellent. So this mule had a couple mundane items on it and gold. So you can all either gain a gold on your sheet, which is like one of the gold tiers, which is basically a sack of treasure. It's not just a single gold, it's something you use to hire mercenaries and things. Or we can get you a item like an extra set of rations, or a religious icon, or
I would take the gold.
The gold? Sounds good. There also seems to be a vial of acid on this mule. And a couple vials of blood on it as well.
Blood's mine.
You would assume from the scribe / alchemist, probably.
Would the 1 gold go under gear and supply?
Oh yeah, right. You hold on a second. I forgot. As an undead, usually they don't care about gold. Let's see. Here, I will give you a valuable item equal to gold.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Is there anything left of these bodies?
A pendulum?
The human bodies, no.
No.
There's armor, I guess, from the Templar.
Also, my chompers are gnawing on probably the bone now of the arm.
There are rations on this mule as well, if you guys want to steal some rations.
So I don't think I really have any interest in loot or gold. Can I instead try and learn something from maybe the mule? Any information on where it came from?
If you look through the mule's belongings, you could probably find a scribe, like one of the scribe's books.
That would be interesting.
Oh yeah, when I consumed a scribe and a paladin, what about the stuff they were wearing or carrying?
If it was made of organic things like leather and cloth, it's gone.
I was thinking more of the paladin and his armor. Like I could spit that out.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the armor doesn't digest. You'd have to. Well, you don't have to spit it out, but it's kind of just clanging around in there.
I mean, I don't need it. I'll spit it out.
Sounds good. Let's see. It's also made for a human, so it'd be hard for most of you to wear.
Yeah.
But it's metal, so you could use it in your horde eventually if you want. Okay, let's get boop-a-doop in there, and then make it a book in light speak. Okay, there are 2 books in here that look to be of interest. One has the symbol of Kira on it. It seems to be a book entirely written in the light tongue, but you could assume it would give you information on the goddess Kira.
Can I just burn that?
Yeah, sure. Just straight up burn it.
Recognize that Kira and have no interest in that.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
It's heresy. I'm fine if that is what I found, and that is what I did with it, though.
No, there is a second book in here too.
Okay.
Could I have the bottles of blood and a gold?
Share some blood with me. It is my art and practice.
That's fair.
Maybe I can make you
I
something
can
tasty
have
with
one
it.
bottle. The other 2 I want to snack on.
Thank you.
There is also the vial acid too, so you could always take that if you want. Which is very good. Okay.
Flesh doesn't
Blood
taste as
vial.
good when it's melted.
Would,
I don't do that.
Would the scribe I consumed have any like last vials?
On them? No.
Yeah.
They were carrying it all in the packet. Their book that they were holding and writing in, though, has been dissolved, unfortunately.
Yummy.
So the other book you got is The Record of the War of Dwarfen Man. It is also written in light.
Could I maybe hold on to that and use it as a study guide for the language?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I feel like you're gonna definitely want to build a library chamber in the dungeon at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe. There's only one book that I care about, and it is in my hand.
That's true. But what better place to hide it than in a library? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
I am never putting this book down. FYI, in
Never.
my hands 100% of the time.
Just web it to your hand so I can't.
Pretty much.
Excellent. Okie doke. Yeah, so the gold. Because you have the extra armor, if you want to collect the Paladin's armor, Slissus, you can use it as a gold piece. But yeah, everyone got a little bit out of all that.
Nice.
Excellent. And with this ruckus and everything dealt with, would you guys like to head to your future area, possibly, of
Yes.
I guess one quick question.
Yeah.
This horse, do we eat it? Can we turn it into rations?
Oh yeah, you can if you
How do we
want.
track food stuff?
So it's in your gear and supply. A set of rations is a day's worth of food.
So, I don't know, consuming this horse, is that count as a ration then? I don't have to eat for the rest of the day?
Yeah, it would be... each of you would be able to get 1 ration out of this if you carved it up and split it up. So 4 rations in total. Depends if you want to split it up, though. If you just want to carve it up and keep the rations.
Hey, I killed this horse.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, holy cow, Brielle may be hoarding some rations, don't worry about it. Not even intentionally. I just figured that
She'd be-
was more what you
She'd be
grabbed.
willing maybe to share it with the other two. She's a little mad right now, though, at the electric slime.
Oh yeah, for sure. Excellent, excellent. You carve up the horse. Everyone gets a good amount, although the ration size for Alexander is larger than everyone else's ration, but understandably.
I totally forgot that my featured vial gives me a +1 to horrify rolls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
I forgot about that. Oh well. It's okay.
Excellent. Cool. So now that everything's cleaned up here, you are able to travel. There's still quite a bit of nighttime left, so you're able to travel under the cover of night since there's a lot of open space here. I even assume maybe along the river would be easier, considering part of your group. But on the way up, give me another scan from you all as you're traveling up here,
Okay.
Mhm.
just to see if I can give you guys some
No
information.
modifiers.
No.
Are we surveying the area?
And around.
You could be actually, because this is going to be
Success.
near where your new dungeon is, so it would make a lot of sense.
That's why I'm asking, because Pharaoh Senses gives me one if I'm tracking or surveying an area.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch!
Wow.
The dice do not like you, huh?
I feel like Brielle's just too frustrated right now to do a proper scan of the area.
Real is angry right now and is just kind of begrudgingly going along.
Better day.
I stole her kill.
Yeah, and I did all the work for it!
It's true. Tart Milady would notice that as you traveled through the ruins and out to the outskirts, this was a lot of like a human dwarf mixed settlement. Most of your knowledge on that though comes from eating both sides, but but you do recognize a lot of the symbology. So this must have been a neutral ground at some point for humans and dwarves.
Alright.
Slissus, you would recognize the distinct patterns of wood elves as you got close to the forest. Assuming that there may be some elves in the woods around where you're planning to build your dungeon.
Oh.
And Alexander, you would notice across the riverside as you're traveling up that there appears to be some dwarven-made structures built into the ground at the far side of the river. You're able to take note of these as dwarven bunkers. You aren't sure if they're abandoned from like the war, because even though you don't have the ability to read this full book, you know it's a book about a dwarven war. So
The dwarves are made out of dwarves.
yeah, who would have known? But yeah, just some little extra info that there's definitely dwarves and humans that have been around this area, and now you know that there's elves somewhere around the area as well. Excellent.
Elves do make me a bit anxious.
Yes.
Like elves.
For sure. Elves are pretty terrifying. They're not as tough as the other races, but they're pretty terrifying. Okie doke. So the next thing we have to decide on is what kind of dungeon you're going to establish in these woods here. So looking through the woods, you find a nice spot. Actually, if you guys want, we can either do it deep in the woods, and you're able to find a bit of a hovel or hole that you can start going into, or in like the side of the mountain. It could be like a cave or something behind the trees, or even behind the waterfall.
We can
As
do
an
the
option.
mountain.
Yeah,
A lot more fortified.
yeah. Put it like the waterfall as your entrance. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like you can walk around behind it or swim through it.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Need to have both options available, because I know Alexander's not the best swimmer, so...
I'm fine with a cave behind the waterfall. That sounds a lot better than a hole.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. And then we had to decide on your dungeon theme. So, before we do like the next part. So your dungeon theme, boop-a-doop-a-doo. So you can either have an enclave, which is kind of your universal arcane dungeon. It has a little bit of everything. And it's mostly about like wild magic, if any of you are familiar with the whole concept of, you know, the magic kind of controls itself kind of situation. There is the Forge, which is all about industry. So, like, crafting alchemy, crafting weapons, traps, vehicles, even.
Oh, wow.
Which doesn't really match any of your characters, I don't think. But that's there as an option. There's the Hideout, which is all about being stealthy. Very focused on collecting special gear and using a lot of traps like illusions and things to keep everything
That'll be
secret.
good for me.
The Stronghold, which is the least hidden, but gives you a lot of like fighting pits and war rooms and like a lot more minions and stuff like that. Or the last one, which might be interesting because you guys have two basically zealots, is the Temple, which gives you access to more divine functions in your dungeon, as well as additional worshippers, dormitories and reliquaries for like artifacts, and the ability to do massive rituals.
So I guess question, if we were to pick something like the Stronghold,
Mm-hmm.
could I have like a temple room as my personal room to have some of the benefits there, or is it I better learn how to use a sword kind of deal?
So yeah, regardless of what you guys pick, you will each have a room dedicated to what you want to do. But it's just like what the majority of your dungeon's going to be like.
Right.
And each of them have a special ability too. Like, for example, the Temple actually makes it so that once per cycle, and a cycle is basically a whole, it might be multiple sessions, but it's like a whole run of dungeon raid blowback. Like, that's the cycle of the game. So once per cycle, one of your gods can cast a tier 3 domain spell on your dungeon. So like that's kind of the benefit of that. The Stronghold is basically you get a lot more minions and you get more raid actions from your dungeon. So almost every minion can get either the companion or the expendable upgrade for free as well. So there's a lot of it's basically about hoarding minions and sending out raids constantly.
I mean, if it was me, like, the Hideout sounds very nice.
Yeah.
The one with a lot of traps and stuff. I do like that one.
The Hideout also gives you the opportunity to make a gambling den, which allows you to attract mercenaries and monsters to come
Nice.
gamble at your dungeon. So
that'd be a good chance to hire people.
yeah.
I like the sound of the Enclave. A little bit chaotic, you know. A lot of
Enclave?
options.
Yeah, so Enclaves...
Or the Hideout.
Okay.
So Enclave was my second choice, so if we're going democratically, that is fine with me.
Sounds good. One advantage you'll have to the Enclave is their special is basically that you can pull tier 3 rooms from other dungeons because of the way the wild magic works, so it is possible to do an Enclave and get like a temple room or a hideout room or like that. That's why it's kind of like the universal option if you like aren't sure which one you want.
I guess it's a definitely also a good beginner dungeon, basically, because we get to experience everything. So
yeah,
if we think about it that way, then I would vote for the Enclave.
But it is wild magic, so...
Yeah, it's not entirely in the party's control, but you do also have 2 spellcasters. Yeah.
That's also true.
There are some interesting thing you'll be able to do as an undead in an enclave too, but you'd also have those advantages in like the stronghold or the hideout, so it didn't really change too much for that. But
Trust in the power of the gods to build us a suitable enclave.
Sounds good. Okay, let me add that in. Excellent. So as you go behind this waterfall, you notice that there seems to be a cave already here, and something is drawing you all towards it. Like something feels right about being here.
Perfect.
There is a lot of long, damp stone corridors behind here as the cave turns into more of a built-up structure. To all of your surprise, I'm sure. And as you get close to the center, you notice a large crystal floating in the air. What would you all like to do?
We need some info.
Touch
Can I
it.
just look at it? All right.
Touch it? Yeah, I mean...
Let the magic people touch the shiny crystal.
I guess I'll scan.
That was such a...
Only thing I really can do.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Excellent. So there's no... Actually, that's a good result for this anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, as you scan through the room, you notice that it's very plain besides this crystal floating in the center, but as soon as someone touches it, in this case, Sliss, I believe, would be the first one, as soon as they touch it, a door opens on the far wall, and it seems to lead down into another room. As each person touches it, another door seems to appear.
I see.
Like main chamber and doors along the outside? Or
Yes.
sequential doors?
Along the outside, kind of like a circular chamber.
Cool. So
This
they all
door
look
was
the
made
same?
for me!
It really was, because as you each check out the different doors, they each seem to be personalized chambers for each of you, created based on what your whims are, what you'd want. So, for example, the first one, if we go over to it, Brielle's, it actually has flowing water going through it, and just a smorgasbord of different kinds of fish in the water as well. And on top of that, there's like hooks for drying food and a lot of different utensils like that. A lot of different things to help out with both swimming space and different varieties. Yeah.
Alright.
Slissus, your room has a lot of foresty kind of theme to it. There is a lot of dark spots. It's very if anyone else were to come here, they would think it's kind of horrific looking, but that's kind of the point. Because the altars here and everything are themed after Vahuna, and it seems to be always dark in this room. Yet you can see perfectly fine. Some form of magical effect. There's also a lot of ritual tools and daggers for use with blood work. Alexander, when you enter your room, you would notice that it seems to be a study chamber with a lot of puzzle boxes and a large desk with writing quill that seems to have an endless supply of ink.
Such a nerd.
Yeah, such a nerd. On the wall it says nerd. No, just there's also a shelf. It's empty
on the
of
wall
books.
is just nerd, and there's like big finger pointing at you.
Yeah. There's also a shelf that's empty of books at the moment, but you believe it could hold any of your gotten gains that you find for studying. And then our last chamber.
Yeah.
For anyone else that would go down here, they would probably find this quite vile, but the chamber itself is covered in slight gelatinous liquids. There is a lot of various storage. I don't know what to call them. Cocoons, I guess, would be the thing, where you'd be able to actually keep prey for extended periods of time in a hibernation state. And a lot of areas to hang your trophies from these goo-like tendrils on the ceiling.
Sounds great.
And of course, you guys can customize your chambers. The crystal will design them the way that you want them to be. So it's
Almost like a cryo goo pod.
yeah, cryo goo pods. Yeah. And as you walk back up to the main chamber, there is now a table created and thrones around the crystal for each of you to sit in front of each of your doors. Welcome to your inner sanctum, the first room of the dungeon.
Yay.
We will... this is a shorter session anyway, because it's the tutorial session, but this is where we'll have to stop for now, because we're going to set up your actual dungeon next time.
Okay.
That's good. It was a little shorter than I thought, but I expected 2 hours for the tutorial session, so...
Yeah, it's all good.
We murdered the Templar too fast.
I mean, that's fine. The other party did very good at that too. So it's they were a level 0 adventurer. So I can answer any questions you guys have now too. I also want to give you some little bits of information. For example, adventurers, they come in tiers between 0 and 4.
Okay.
As a kind of a benchmark, as monsters, you would all basically be tier 3.
I think tier 4 adventurers are classified as like heroes or something.
Yes, they're quite... So tier 3 adventurers would be on par with you guys, and tier 4 adventurers would be stronger than most overlords. So they do exist. Adventurers do have that ability to get stronger than players can possibly get, but that's kind of the point, is like you rarely run into those, and they would be big events. Your dungeon itself also has a tier. It starts at tier 0, but we'll be starting that up next game. Let me pull out the document I have as well. I have lots of documents for this game. too many documents. So we can check out the questionnaire to see how much experience you all get. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Okay. So the first one is, have you made progress on your master plan? Which is no, because the master plan hasn't started yet. Have you acted like a monster? I think you've all pretty much acted like a monster this session at some point.
I know I did.
I went chomp chomp.
Here's one that you guys have that the other party didn't get in the first session. Did you have an argument resolved between players? Which is when you have that combat roll there. So you guys would have an experience for that.
Nice.
Did you complete the session's goal, which was establish a dungeon? So there's yes for that. And it looks like that's the last one that's valid here. So 3 experience this session? That's not bad.
Yeah,
Alright.
so we're up to 4.
Yeah. Excellent. That's not bad for tutorial, and you can get more like in the next session as well, so that'll be good.
Like, I think we get more skills as we level up.
Yeah, so every time that hits full, you'll either be able to pick a new ability from your calling, or you can put a point into one of your skills on the side, like scan, skulk, finesse.
Alright.
Something to note is you can't put points into a skill that you have 0 in. So, for example, you have 0 in Smash. In order to...
I can't smash. I'm not able to smash.
No Smash. But the only way to actually start leveling that up with your experience is to succeed in it as a level 0 3 times. So every time you succeed in a skill when it's a 0, you get to put a little check in it, and then a second check, and then it becomes a full box.
Oh, that's only when you pass the check?
Yeah, so as long as you've done 3 successful checks in it, it becomes a skill you can use, and then you can start leveling it up. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of like an RP incentive to try some things you're not so good at. So,
That's cool.
yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else that's important for this one. Do you guys have any questions about what's gone on, what you need to do, or how things have worked so far?
And I'm guessing stress we get down by our downtime.
Yes, so after we establish the dungeon, there'll be a downtime. So, like the cycle of play is the raid, dungeon management, and then downtime.
I think in next session we'll be going
yeah.
over the minion packs.
Yeah, so next session will be dungeon building, which will get you your minions, and then that'll also have our first downtime, which is where you all basically get to do your downtime actions and recover stress.
Alright. Oh, so that's where you got your chompers.
Yeah, well, so some people started with some minions.
Oh, okay.
This group actually didn't have a lot of people that started with minions, but that's fine, because that just means... So every time you guys get minions, you need more minion, like, bunk chambers in your dungeon as well. So eventually, it does take up more and more space.
My minions can stay in the little water with the other fish.
It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. And then they also breed, and with the little eggies down there, and that's how I get more.
Why, they're endless.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Because I'm an alpha Caribe, and they're the little baby. They're little regular Caribes. Very rare for an alpha to be born.
Also, after this session, I will have... Well, sorry, we'll do our dungeon building, but then we will have, like, battle maps and everything for a lot of the combat, because this one was more theater of mind, because I didn't know where we were going to be at the start, so that kind of...
It's all good.
Yeah, so... After that, we'll have a little bit of an easier time moving around the battlefield and stuff, or keeping track of where everyone is.
It all worked out.
Yeah. But thank you for joining in this first session here.
No problem. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks for running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So next time we'll be doing dungeon building. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let me just stop the recording.